we've woken up on the boat. It's a beautiful morning out. We are on a little island in the Stockholm Archipelago. We sailed out here yesterday. Just woken up. It's blue sky, gorgeous morning. I think we're gonna go for a swim and we're going to make some coffee. Good morning, Matt. Okay, I'm up. First things first. Swim. I'm going for a swim. Okay guys, we've come for another sauna in the woods. So we come to the sauna pretty often every time we come to this island at Coleman, and it's so perfect. We just walk down to the water's edge, go for a swim, go for a cold dip right down there, and then back in the sauna.
Action.
So, okay, stop. You're not gonna like the video if you do that.
What do you mean?
I promise you'll be like. Okay, so when we moved to Stockholm 4 years ago, we bought this sailboat. We didn't know how to sail at the time. We'd only been out a few times really, and Matt had learned a little bit along the way from some others, but buying this boat and getting out on the water with it ourselves was really the way that we learned to sail. And now it is an awesome part of our summers here in Stockholm. We spend tons of time out in the Stockholm Archipelago. So we are going to tell you our 5 favorite tips for getting started as a new sailor. Okay, so our first tip is that you've got to work together as a team. So we have learned the hard way. There have been many arguments on this boat, but
Patience.
Yes.
And a little bit more patience is number one.
We've learned lots of patience with each other. We have learned how to communicate better because of it. And then you start to find that you each have your roles and you start to get really good at it. Yeah, I let him think he's the captain.
Righto.
And all of a sudden you find that you're sort of like working together like a well-oiled machine.
But don't be afraid of a blowout, because they are going to come.
Yeah, and trust me, we have seen so many other couples pull into a marina or in a bit of like a windy day, and you can tell things are tense.
Things are tense.
But we know because we've been there.
They've been tense.
Yeah. So tip number 2 is that you will make mistakes. So you will probably bump into rocks. You might scrape the bottom here and there.
I think we've done that 5 or 6 times, but who's counting?
Yeah,
you might. More to come this summer, no doubt.
Bump into the marina. You might even scrape against another boat.
You may get sea rescued.
And you might get sea rescued, which we definitely did last year. But the thing is that it's really the only way to learn.
Experience,
yeah,
exactly.
And you start to realize that everybody out here sailing has done it that way as well. So not only are they more understanding because they have been exactly in your shoes, but also they are that much more ready to help.
They are, and that's to avoid hitting their boat. So
it's often to avoid you hitting their boat. Yeah.
Everyone will pop their heads up and come and help. So it's a nice community to start learning in.
Absolutely.
Next tip, Captain.
Okay, so sometimes when things maybe start to feel like they're gonna get a little bit scary out there, you have to remember that the worst thing that you can do is just start the motor. So
that was a great tip someone gave me. Just said it's always a motorboat when you need it to be.
Yeah.
As long as your engine starts, that is. I mean, it wasn't a motorboat at the time. Our rope got caught in the propeller. That wasn't an engine that started, but generally it just starts. If you get a bit unsure, you can start the engine and just take control.
When I get a little bit nervous or the winds get a little bit heavier, I always think like, okay, the worst thing that can happen is we turn ourselves up into the wind, put on the motor and drop the sails.
The worst thing.
And then we cruise.
That is the worst thing. Cheers. Don't put your fish on top of your beers.
Number 4 is don't try to be a hero. You can just start where you're at. This is like, I feel like I literally need to remind that to this guy every single time.
Yeah, plus, we did. The first day we came out, it was barely any wind, more frustrating, but we just flopped around in the water, thinking we're doing something wrong, but you need wind for sailing.
I still think we were maybe doing something wrong.
Yeah, probably, definitely.
Our tip number 5 is to just start, just get out there. So whether that's joining a sailing team, if there's a sailing club in your community, or going out with a friend, just getting a little bit more comfortable out on their boat, or honestly, buying your own boat, something small, and just starting to get out there, because that is literally where all the learning happens, out on the water. And then get a boat with a few
creature comforts. Bonus tip. Whatever you think you need with the number of beers, double it. You're welcome.
Thanks. Thank you for that bonus tip. So you guys, we hope that inspired you or encouraged you to get out sailing as well. If you have any other questions, then leave a message in the comments below.
The real captain will get back to you.
Yeah, exactly. I told you. All right, you guys, sending you lots of love. Thank you for tuning in, watching, and we'll see you here next week.